So back in April of this year, the Government Accountability Office concluded their investigation into potential illegal activity from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, right? And in their April 2026 report, the Government Accountability Office said, guess what? Doge didn't do anything wrong. Can you believe it, right? This group, controlled by Donald Trump, of course, says, hey, nothing happened. That whistleblower from a year ago, because the whistleblower originally said in April of 2025 that Doge had illegally accessed files at the National Labor Relations Board and sent those files somewhere we don't know illegally. And then, of course, several days later, that whistleblower had their brake lines cut. But yeah, the GAO said, nope, we didn't find any evidence of wrongdoing. And that was the end of it, right? Well, luckily, the folks over at Wired decided to take a second look at that report. And what they found buried in the footnotes of this report that says Doge did nothing illegal were several interesting items. The first of which was that in the footnotes it says, oh, by the way, we actually didn't look into anything that happened before the whistleblower's complaint. We only looked at things after the date of the whistleblower coming forward. You know, after the potential crimes had been committed, that's what we looked at. So we looked and we didn't see any crimes being committed because they had all been likely committed in the past, right? So that's strike one. Strike two, of course, is when, in a separate footnote, the Government Accountability Office also admitted, oh, by the way, they also deleted all the files of everything they did at the National Labor Relations Board. So even if they did commit crimes, we wouldn't be able to find it because, again, they basically did the Hillary Clinton bleach bit, just to throw conservatives a bone there. So we couldn't find anything anyway if we wanted to. In other words, the Government Accountability Office admitted our whole investigation was a farce because we didn't want to find any wrongdoing by Doge. Let me read you this. Nested in the footnotes of the report is another revelation in August of 2025, shortly after Doge members left the NLRB, but before the GAO's investigators requested to observe the systems. The agency deleted the team member accounts for system access after the agreement to detail Doge team staff had expired. Basically, this means that the digital records of what data and systems Doge members accessed and when had been eliminated, leaving the GAO no way to confirm what the National Labor Relations Board staff told their investigators. So this is a weird place, right? Why would Doge, under the direction of Elon Musk, because again, this started in April of 2025. Elon Musk was still there. He and Trump were still good buddies. Why are you guys stealing data, allegedly stealing data, from the National Labor Relations Board? Well, the answer is as obvious as you would think. Because at that time, both SpaceX and Tesla were facing investigations from the NLRB. The NLRB, their databases, contain, well, first of all, they enforce laws concerning unions and collective bargaining and investigate unfair labor practices. This gives it access to the identities of whistleblowers as well as their testimony, information about trade secrets, and other proprietary data that might be important in issues related to negotiations between employers and employees. So here's your whistleblowers. Here's what they said. Here's all the evidence we have. Oh, and by the way, we've got trade secrets stored in here for other companies who might be your competition that you might love to get your hands on. So we do not know exactly what data was stolen from the NLRB. We do not know who that data was sent to. But I think, we can use our imaginations and pretty much figure it out at this point. And the worst part is, the GAO dragged their feet, allowed Doge to delete all the data so that we can never likely find out who did what. And I guess that's the end of that then, right? Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, tune in every weekday at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern for our daily live stream. Subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell so that you get notified when new live streams are up or when new videos go up. Don't forget to share the content, like, and comment.